Welcome back to Ordinary Guy DIY. Hey, today we're going to cover garage door trim work. I made a few mistakes when I installed it, and I'm going to show you those mistakes. Maybe that'll prevent you from making the same ones I did. It's nothing major, nothing can't be fixed, but it's something that I need to address, so I'll show you what we're working with today. So earlier this summer, we rewrapped my doors, and as you can see, the door stop and the weather strip, it's all one piece. It's got a lot of wave in it, along with the aluminum wrap. Seems to be worse on one side than it is the other, but let me show you the problem it's creating. If I show you from the inside, you see that gap? I hadn't caulked anything yet, which I should have already done, but yeah, you can see all that wave there. So I believe I made two mistakes. I don't know if you can see, we nailed it about every 16 inches or so. And when we put it on, we made sure we didn't even drive, we left them out a half inch until we knew we had everything straight and in place, tested the door, made sure our seal was against the door good. Then once we were satisfied with that, we went ahead and drove the nails the rest of the way. But over time, it's developed that wave. And I believe there's two reasons for that. The first reason is I hadn't caulked this seam yet, and I think that would have helped. But this aluminum trim stock is so thin that it's very susceptible to temperature fluctuations, hot and cold. The head on that nail, that trim nail, is about 3/16 of an inch. It's a ring shank trim nail. Well, I believe I would have been better off to use a drill bit, actually a 3/32. If I would have pre-drilled just the aluminum in those places that I nailed it, I think it would have gave room for expansion for that aluminum, and I don't think I'd have as much wave as I have in these. It's no different when you nail siding on. You have to give it room for expansion so you don't nail your nails tight. Well, in this case, didn't really give it a thought, and we nailed them tight once we had it in place. Well, I'm kind of committed at this point. I don't know if you can see, especially if I show you down here. If I push that in, it just chases it. It just chases it somewhere else. So at this point, I can't pre-drill, and have it do any good for me. At this point, the only choice I have is to go ahead and put another nail in between the nails I currently already have in it. And when I get done nailing it, I'm going to go ahead and get this seam caulked between the weather strip trim piece and the aluminum all the way around the door. Now on the outside where the aluminum and the J channel meet, I don't need to caulk that. I could, but it would just kind of be a waste because we bent the trim aluminum. It comes back into the house and then it makes another 90, and there's probably a 2-inch leg on that, and then that's nailed to the house, and then there was flashing tape put on that because all this, and then we put the siding back on. So any water that gets in between the trim and the J channel is just going to hit that corner, and it's going to run straight down to the ground. After I get done nailing these, I'm just going to use some denatured alcohol to wipe that off to make sure I have good adhesion for my caulk. Then I'm just using a 100% silicone exterior caulk. Let me show you the difference in adding some nails. Took a lot of the wave out of it. There is no light. coming through. Now I just got to wipe it off, get it caulked. I forgot the denatured alcohol. Forgot to wipe it down. Actually, I wiped it down earlier, but I'm going to wipe it down again. Now, for the people who are really good at putting down caulking, they probably don't have to go back and tool it, but it's starting to get dark, so it's kind of hard to see. But that pass right there is laid down pretty good. I won't have to retool that, but the rest of it, I'm going to probably run my finger on it, which some people may not be a fan of, but I have found that if you get your finger wet with denatured alcohol, you can kind of drag it and fill in your gap nicely. So that's what I choose to do. Not sure if you can see that. Now, right here, any seams like that don't need to be caulked because the bottom piece has a tab that comes up about in 2 inches. So there's no water that can get in behind that. Same for the other seams. You could caulk them if you wanted to, but you'd just be wasting your caulk. If it was flashed right, wrapped right, you don't have to do those seams. With that, I think that completes this topic of the garage door. Consider subscribing if this was helpful and you enjoyed the content, and keep making subjects as they come up here around my house. So appreciate you watching.